A lot of news has happened. Originally, this was going to be about just keeping it real, and we can still do that. But now we have a new topic to talk about while keeping it real: the NX, or sorry, the Nintendo Switch. So I guess the NS, whatever. Um, so um, keeping it real, how do you feel about the NS, the Nintendo Switch, Doctor Feelgood?
Shit, I'm loving it. My wife loves it. After the video premiered that morning for me, I think it was like 9 a.m. Central Time for me. I tagged my wife in it, and she can't even wait for it. I mean, I love everything about it. Now, some people may be thinking like, "Well, that was some shortcomings." It's the premiere video. Oh, but from what I seen, I watched it about 10 times. I even analyzed and dissected it, the different shit that I saw or could get out of it. I still love everything about it. The only drawback that I'm concerned about, but it's because they haven't revealed enough information, is that I don't see how right now the asymmetric gameplay is possible. Now they couldn't have got away from it because it wasn't popular in the Wii U, or maybe it is possible with an extra peripheral, or maybe another mode or something. But from what I saw, it wasn't there. I'm a bit concerned about that, but besides that, my wife and I we can't wait. I think I may get two of them, but I can't wait. I
Damn.
to me it is nothing but a fully realized Wii U repackaged and rebranded. That's it. It does to me. It does nothing different except it's fully portable. That's it.
Damn. That's fairly interesting. I I'm gonna take the opposite end of the spectrum. Um, right now, I'm cautiously cautious. I'm not really optimistic. I'm not really pessimistic. I'm not a cynic. I don't know enough about what the system is capable of, what types of games are going to come to it. I mean, we obviously know it's going to have the usual suspect of Nintendo first party games. Um, for people, but I will say one thing: for people who are like, "Oh man, they're going to have all this third party support," why, why, why do you, why do you people hype yourselves up for shit like that? Because third parties have no incentive to support Nintendo.
Yeah, but you know what? I would say this to those people that are curious, or maybe you may be thinking like, yeah, well, why are you completely just all in with this thing? Do I have my fears? Yes, but at the same time, I can say Nintendo has never truly let me down 100%. Not even with the Wii U, they haven't. In fact, it's my most supported console of all the consoles I ever owned, and I have owned almost every console since the damn first and second gen. But they really haven't let me down. I mean, I'm over 50 games in on the Wii U, 48 of them being physical. But to me, when I look at this, it's like Nintendo. I got to give you points for this, and it's not a bad thing. But to all the naysayers and the Wii U is dead, Nintendo's behind the times. They tricked your asses.
They're
They
selling you
took
a perfected Wii U.
that. Like that's really all they're doing. If you
Yeah,
look at this, it is a Wii U with analogs to be broken off of it. That's it. And it has the bigger screen. And people are like, well, the Wii U gamepad is thicker. It is thicker, but if you hold the gamepad, those that own the Wii U, the gamepad is extremely light for what it has in it. Even NASA has commented on the technology that's in the Wii U. So even Wii U owners know the Wii U was not fully realized. It wasn't taken to its maximum potential because third parties just were just lazy as shit. But looking at this thing, it's like, damn. So what I thought the Wii U was, when I bought the Wii U, when I saw it, I said, man, I hope I can take the controller everywhere I go. And I found out I couldn't. So it was a drawback, but even still, I still enjoy it. Here, my wife right now, and I'm being very little. Right now, she's playing Paper Mario Color Splash off TV.
that's a good game.
And, it has in the room, in the bathroom, various places around the house. But
Like I said, any system that lets me play, like people are always saying, "Oh man, those graphics are next gen. This is a next gen game experience." Fuck that. If I can go to the bathroom, take care of business, worship the ivory throne, the porcelain throne, while playing my game, and not stop in the middle of it, that sir is next gen to me.
I would say this, and this may be embarrassing to some, but to me, I don't give a damn with the Wii U, I have been playing Call of Duty while answering the Call of Duty.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, like I'm just simply saying I've done it and I've done it multiple times.
And that's called a next gen experience. Like
Exactly.
how many systems let you do that? I mean, yeah, you had
That
PS4 with the Vita, but that shit didn't really work for most people. So
and I'm gonna throw some corny shit in there. That is the only time when third party is awesome.
that is a very well done pun, sir. So I
But I
guess
mean, but as I was saying, like I'm ecstatic now. I do realize that the same thing right now that happened with the Wii, that's happened with the Switch, with the third parties, and them saying in the beginning before we got revealed that, oh, we're on board, it's looking great, we can't wait to work with them. And of course, Richard Review Tech released this video, and to me, let me just comment on that quickly. Rich, if you did not realize that those were two generic ass email responses, like someone would give you when you call customer service, or you send an email out at requesting assistance. They're just ham bone responses. Really, it's like come on. They Nintendo said after the reveal, we won't say shit else about this system until next year. What makes you think the third parties have any right to speak on this system at all? Now, I'm not saying they are guaranteed to work with them. I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they are not. But even if they are not, you think Nintendo is going to be dumb enough to trust them complete like they did with the Wii U? I
yeah,
think not.
but I
And I
mean,
heard someone else say, well, they showed off more third-party games than first-party. No, they did not.
no, they didn't. I mean, you had Splatoon shown multiple times. You had the Mario game shown for like I think
A few
10
seconds.
seconds. You had Breath of the Wild
Breath of the
shown.
Wild,
You had shit.
Mario Kart,
Yeah, Mario Kart. So that's four. Then you had Skyrim and 2K,
2K,
and that was
and
it. Like you had two third party games, and then the rest were first party.
exactly. So people, and I've actually seen a couple videos that say, well, they showed off more third party content than first party. I was like, no, they didn't. To me, that was
Exactly.
intentional letting you know that we are prepared to support this bitch like we did the 3DS and the Wii U by ourselves.
Yep.
But
And
if they,
I'm going to
if they
keep it
work with
real.
us, great.
I'm going to keep it real. I'm just going to say this right now. I do not trust. Okay. Here's what's probably going to happen. And I'm not a prophet, but I'm just going to keep it. Bethesda's not going to release shit for the system. Just, I'm telling you right now. If they do, I will be very surprised, but chances are probably not. EA is not going to release shit for the system. Square Enix will probably try and port Final Fantasy 15 over to the system just for the sake, because that game needs to sell on as much shit as humanly possible. In order
And
to
with
at
the Japanese Japanese market being, more inclined towards
Nintendo's bitch.
handheld,
Yeah, yeah.
then
The
it would help.
Japanese console video game market is Nintendo's bitch, with with Sony getting sloppy seconds. Uh,
I wouldn't even
that
say seconds. I would
that
say
is
thirds.
terrible. Yeah, that's terrible. But unfortunately, it is true in this business regard. So you might see some support from Square Enix. You'll probably see support from the Japanese third parties. Western third parties, don't hold your breath. Okay, if you're getting this system for, man, I'll be able to play Skyrim on the go, you're gonna be waiting a long ass time. That's all I can say.
And let me add this in there too. And Rich put this out there. I have nothing against Rich, so let me preface it with that. I have nothing against him. I'm no longer subscribed to him because I thought a lot of shit he released in recent years has been bullshit. But
He flip
I
flops.
still respect the guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. But he said, Nintendo, you're up here putting out stuff. You're giving people the impression that these games are going to be in your system, and they're not. It's like, okay, so let's use common sense. How many times have we seen a movie trailer? And I'm not talking about a teaser. I mean a movie trailer that shows scenes or even dialogue that when the movie comes out and released in theaters, it's not there. And then you go look for it even in the deleted scenes on Blu-ray and DVD, and it's not there. How many times have we seen that? It's happened countless times, but no one bitches about that.
Well,
But
let's take it a step
this was a
further.
reveal video. That's all it was. They basically just trying to get the message out there that hey, this is a home console first, but you can truly take this bitch on the go, and you don't need Wi-Fi to play it on the go because the cartridge goes into the tablet. So they're just getting the message out there.
Well, let's just take it a step further. How many times have we seen game trailers, trailers for games that they're like, this is real in-game footage, and it's like the game doesn't look like that, doesn't play like that, doesn't have those features. It's like No Man's Sky. Remember that those sandworms they had in one of those levels that you can never fucking find because they aren't in the game. I mean, and we've
Yeah,
seen numerous games that are like that. And so, like, what I find disturbing is that people hold Nintendo to a higher standard than they hold the rest of the industry. And I mean, it's
exactly.
flattering that you think so highly of them, but it's not fair that you're going to get on their ass and then let these other motherfuckers slide. Just saying.
And I know some people out there, even the Snow fans, are like, I'm not gonna be too optimistic. I'm not being too optimistic, but my thing is, just like with any console I buy, from what I've seen thus far, this is a purchase for me. This is a day one purchase. Now, let's say in January they reveal some shit and they're like, oh yeah, Mario Kart and Smash, the next Smash Brothers, and then all the games I want to get probably won't be out until 2019, then I may be like, I think I may hold off on that because that's a long ways away, and that's
Mm.
what I'm looking forward to. But if they launch and they have some nice games within the launch window, I'm interested. Now, if they tell me that this thing has a 1 hour portable battery life, that may turn me off.
Yeah, like from what I heard, the battery life is estimated around 3 hours. Um,
But to me, that makes sense. People like I've seen comments where people like saying, with iPads and shit last long. It's like, okay, I want you to pull up a video like a high intensity video game right now, download it on your iPad, and I want you to run that bitch in 760 p 30 frames per second or even 60 frames per second, and I want to see that 8 hour iPad battery still last 8 hours, and I bet you it won't. It
well,
won't.
I mean, it's not even so much that for me. It's just for me personally, the thing that makes me cautiously cautious about the the uh, the Nintendo Switch is because we saw all of this same shit in a more personalized form with the Wii U and the
Yep.
GameCube, and well, not the N64, but the GameCube. So for three console gens, we've seen this, and people always, yeah, man, this is gonna. And I'm like, look, listen, okay. Nintendo is literally their butt is bleeding from how many times they've been screwed over by third parties. So if you're a gamer, and I'm saying this as someone who bought an N64 and loved RPGs on the SNES, and still got an N64 because I was like, I trust Nintendo, and Nintendo didn't let me down, but third parties have been letting me down since then. Fifth gen, sixth gen, seventh gen, eighth gen, and now apparently ninth gen. So 5 gens of people just fucking up irrevocably. Um, and we're joined by another podcaster,
Double A, what's up,
another
man?
member. Yeah. So yeah. Your real thoughts on glad we're happy for you to join us, Double A. What are your real thoughts on the Nintendo Switch? And then we'll move on to the next topic.
Well, it's not a day one purchase for me. I gotta, just like any other console, you gotta wait until all the games, or at least a good portion of games, are there. I will
Mm-hmm.
say, essentially, this is a souped up Wii U that people are not, you know, well, they're already kind of trying to dump on it, but it's gonna be a bit hard to sabotage because people will not shut up about it when it was codenamed the NX. And since it's called the Switch, people can't pull, oh, is this an attachment to the Wii or something? But essentially,
It is. Nintendo pulled a GameCube to Wii on your asses. They
We
basically gave you a perfected
hold
Wii
on, but you know what? I will say this: what if? And I know this did not happen, but what if in the name Switch it had two eyes?
Sweet, the sweet. No, you know what they need to call it the U switch. The switch U. The switch U.
and,
Oh, wait a
and you know
second.
what?
You got
I
that
made
S and the
I made
CT and the TCH. Oh my God, those bastards! No.
and you know I made like maybe 6 to 8 memes about this shit, and I tell
Yeah, you
people,
came after people with a switch.
like, dude, like I was saying shit like, oh, haters back then, I don't want a screen on my controller. But now it's like with the Switch, you know, I want a controller with screens. I want a screen with controllers. That's the difference. But I don't want a screen on my controller. It's like, it's the same shit if you think about it. It's the same. How can
Yeah.
you hate the Wii U for having a screen on the controller, but now you're like, man, I love the Switch.
It's brilliant. Yeah, it's this
Uh,
is
It's the
this is truly
same
brilliant.
shit.
Yep, it's a like
you
they
guys.
hated the Wii U gamepad, but they want uh, another gamepad.
Well, remember that's because the Wii U is seen as, essentially the thing that created AIDS and wiped out civilization and all that. Essentially,
What the
because it
hell?
was the perception.
Well,
If it didn't have that negative perception,
it's
people wouldn't
evil.
have been so.
Uh,
Yeah,
it's evil. It
but
came
now,
into your house, pissed in your cornflakes, raped your wife,
Mama.
made you watch it, and you took a video and put it on YouTube. Not
And you know
YouTube.
what's so
You
funny?
couldn't put it on YouTube. Some other illicit site.
I mean, and another thing I put, and this is another one of the memes I made. It's like, okay, so looking at this system, we all know, we all know what it essentially is. So now you guys are liking the fact that you can play your games without your TV. You could do that with the Wii U. In fact, I mean, completely, just completely separate. It's I don't see how these people can even miss this. I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, I don't know how you guys cannot see that overall, this is a Wii U fully perfected and realized, remarketed, rebranded. I even seen people like say like on the video saying like, oh man, you know the co-op is awesome. It's like, okay, so next meme, who cares about co-op? I'll just play online. Now it has co-op. I'm so glad.
But here's the sad thing. It's like I saw that I looked at that video and I'm like, you do realize they're essentially selling you a perfected Wii and Wii U, right? Like those two little
uh,
switches on the side, those are perfected Wiimotes. Because remember,
gen- gentlemen,
you could
I wouldn't,
use the
I wouldn't say it's perfected because I don't think it has gyro or touchscreen. We gotta wait and see.
well. Let me put it this way. Um,
I
because
think it does have gyro, and I think it has gyro because if you look at the even the cheapest tablet today, it
they
has
have
gyro.
they have
They have
accelerometers.
Yeah, they have several arms, but at the same, it performs the same basic task in the sense, just it's not as accurate, but even still, to
Yeah,
me,
and
it's
they
essentially the same
perfected
thing.
the technology to where it probably like the reason I say they're Wiimotes is because remember when the Wii first came out, like it came with like two Wiimotes, and the Wiimotes were also controllers, and like it's like how the hell does this work? Then you tilt it to the side, kind of like these things. Oh shit, this is a standard controller. you know, I'm like, oh these motherfuckers, these bastards. But
The only
Nintendo,
problem,
the kings of taking old
the,
shit and selling it to you again.
the problem is they didn't do that with the D-pad. Now it's four
Yeah,
separate
yeah, that
buttons.
D-pad is a little. I'm a little iffy about it, but
But I really do think that all their games are going to require you to use left analog stick for movement, unless they give you control options. I don't think they're going to use that for movement at all. Period. I think they did that strictly because if you want to do two-player, then of course that acts as your A, B, X, and Y. But it has arrows on it. They may use it in that way, but they would have put A, B, X, Y on both sides. It would be very confusing. It
Well,
could
we
be confusing.
well we don't know if this thing is gonna have its own virtual console or
it
something.
probably
So
it yeah. I think it will have a virtual console just because that's a great source of revenue for Nintendo, and it doesn't require a lot of like all it requires is for them to just do a little bit of coding and get the rights to put it on the virtual console. So,
Yeah.
and I think the way they negotiate their rights, it doesn't matter what device it is. Once they get it for the virtual console, all they have to do is do the coding for it.
Yeah, although
Based on the patents going for it.
I don't think this thing is gonna have the GameCube virtual console. I will like it, but I don't think so because of the
Well,
licensing issues.
yeah. I mean, I love the GameCube, but I mean, you can get a GameCube now for like $50 used.
Or a Wii. It's a GameCube and a Wii
It's
in one.
basically a GameCube as well. Plus, you get two huge libraries for one. Although for some reason, I have a soft spot in my heart for the GameCube. But anyway, what was I saying?
There's a perfected Wii U, something like that.
Basically, it's because the Wii U gamepad was great, but it had a limited range. Now you can take your game anywhere. Like literally, I mean, it's got shitty battery life, but fuck it,
Yeah. Plus, it's also high definition, right? Or that's what they said.
Well, I think that screen may be 900p or 1080p. It's not going to be 2K or 4K, and God bless them for not doing that because that's stupid. Yeah, I know some people are going to get mad, but I mean, why the fuck would you need? Like, here's the thing: when a screen is that small, anything higher than really 900p is kind of overkill at that point.
Red Fox, I said to those people, let them get their panties in a twist. I know this thing wasn't gonna be 2K or 4K because nobody can do native 4K yet. But I do think this is gonna be the true native 1080p console that we've been waiting for. Because
I don't want to go that far. I don't want to go that far. I know let me put it this way: on the lower end of the spectrum, I think a lot of the games will be 720p locked. Which, I mean, really, if you can get 720p locked, because here's the thing: no one can get 720p locked at 60 frames per second on any of the consoles that exist right now. Well, okay, maybe the Wii U, but not the PS4 or the Xbox One. Like they do 900p, but it dips at 30, it dips below 60 or 30, or they do on the PS4 it's 1080p, but it dips. No one can really get it locked. So it would be really interesting to see what Nintendo could do because they like to use their little weird ass proprietary tech and customized tech and all that shit.
I'll be back quickly.
All right. So I guess it's time to move on to the next topic, which is that damn Luke Cage. It's fucking awesome. It's really good. If you're someone who grew up in the 80s or whatever, it should be fairly easy for you to understand. Oh God. So, a brief aside. The Nintendo Switch, one of the things I noticed about it is that it has a very interesting, if you will, thing. I'm kind of upset that they didn't do a Japanese only a Japanese reveal. It was worldwide because normally you can pick up certain things at. Okay, we have a few questions. Well, just one. This is from Fruit Puncher. Anuma said Breath of the Wild has gyro implemented in the game's programming, so it's safe to assume that the NS also has gyro controls. Yeah, that makes sense. So basically, what we're saying is that the gyro isn't isn't in the pad. It's in the switches on the side, the Joy-Con controllers, which are basically perfected Wiimotes. So you don't have to have the nunchuck thing going on because it's all wireless. There's no connection, which is actually really fucking cool. I'm really happy how Nintendo was able to pull that shit off. Um, Um, and I mean, I guess that's all I got to say about that. Um, YouTube has gotten rid of the Q&A app, so if you guys want to ask questions for my next video, because I mean you can use the chat app now, but it'd be weird. If you guys want to ask questions, I think I'll put out a video tomorrow, Monday, and if you guys have any questions, just put them in the comment section, and I'll use those for next week's BS Busters. It'll be easier that way than trying the Halloween BS Busters, which ironically, if I'm going to do a BS Busters next week for the Halloween weekend, I'll probably do it Friday because Saturday I'm going to a Halloween party and I'm probably going to get fucked up. So I will not be having a BS Busters on Saturday.
Why the hell not, man?
Because Saturday I'm going to a fucking Halloween party. Well, actually, I'm throwing a Halloween costume party, and I'm going to get fucked up. I already know I'm going to get fucked up, so I'm not going to be able to do a BS Busters while hosting a costume party.
Yeah, I think I may be busy as well, so I totally get it.
I'm going as 70s Luke Cage with an afro. I've actually been growing my shit out so I can pick it out into an afro. So
What the?
yeah, man. Look, man. Look, when I do a costume, I commit entirely. Like the year before last, I went as Lando Calrissian. I actually shaved my beard and coiffed my mustache and got a really nice processed wig to make my hair all cool and shit. And I got the little pimp outfit and everything. I'm like, I'm Lando Calrissian, the only space pimp in the galaxy.
What the hell?
Well, Lando Calrissian is a badass. So I guess we can move on to one other topic before you have to go, Dr. Feelgood. And that would be perhaps the most dangerous topic of all, which is
Okay.
it is a dangerous topic. The dangerous topic is why in the world is it that why is it that gamers, not all gamers, but why are some gamers so damn gullible?
What is this regarding? I know there's something in there.
Well, I mean that's kind of a blanket statement. But why is it that you think that?
Okay, if we're talking about just, as
Like
a
they believe
generalization, I mean, I think it's because
bullshit that anyone says.
well, it's because they want to fit in.
Yeah.
I think gamers are gullible primarily because they want to fit in. To me, okay, here's my example. Battlefield 4.
Mm-hmm.
That is probably considered one of the top 3 most broken pieces of shit ever released this generation, if not across all generations. That game may have a worse rap than ET. But before that game released, and I'm not talking about, a day before, a week before. This is probably about a good month before the game released. There were reports that it was extremely broken.
Yep.
Extremely broken, online and offline. Multiplayer campaign, it was broken. People still ran out and bought that game to the tune of it selling over 1 million units. They still went out and bought it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, another example. Was it Arkham Origins where actually Warner Brothers Montreal, the same team that actually made Batman Arkham City Armor for the Wii U, that port, which is the best one of all to me, the same team that made that made, Arkham City or Origins or whatever, and it was broken. And they came out and said, basically, we're not going to fix this shit. We're not going to fix it.
Yep. You're right. You're right. I mean, they did the same thing. They were like, fuck it.
and like I say, I own Arkham Knight. I just bought it recently when I got my Xbox One about a couple weeks ago, and I got it for $10. So to me, it wasn't really much of a risk.
That's a steal. Yeah.
Exactly. Got it brand new for $10 with some of the DLC. So gamers get this shit because their friends are going to be playing. So hey, look, all my friends are going to be playing Battlefield 1. So let me go ahead and pick up Battlefield 1. Everyone's getting, Infinite Warfare. So although it had 10 times more dislikes than likes, I'm going to go ahead and buy it because that's what everyone else is playing. Gamers today are afraid to play games by them goddamn selves. Like my wife right now is playing Paper Mario Color Splash off TV. She's probably put about a good 70 hours into that game. I would say 50 to 70. The first 2 days I got it, she put in about a good 20 hours. She's been going to work with this game on the brain. And keep in mind, she loves Splatoon as well. She loves Splatoon, loves it. But she's not addicted to online play like that. She's not. She can play that game whether I'm here or not. But gamers today, if the game doesn't have an online component, it has to be either Uncharted or Last of Us.
Well, until the Switch, that is, which people are not praising.
And the shit's not even out yet. This is what I wanted. God damn.
You already had it.
But it gets to me. It gets to me that, guys, you do realize that before the Xbox One came around, even before the Dreamcast gave us, some of the first online gaming for a console, we played games by our damn selves, or we invited friends over. Mm-hmm. And now you got people saying, well, no, who the hell has, friends nearby? It's like, honestly, most of the people I talk to on Google Plus live on the East Coast while I live here, in the South. And I actually wish I could invite these bastards over to my home because they would probably be over here every day. They probably would. So online is convenient in that regard, but I can definitely tell you, I'm playing Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I'm almost done with that game. I have to finish the last 2 chapters in Xenoblade Chronicles X. There are a myriad of other games I have on just my Wii U that I need to finish, and they're mostly, one player centric.
Me too.
So most of them don't even have an online component. But I enjoy that because if you're going to enjoy a game online, you're going to be basically leasing games for the rest of your life. And when the internet ever goes out or stops being available, your game is nothing but a fucking coaster.
Well, I mean, I'm going to tell you a true story. One of my favorite games of the 6/7th gen is Mercenaries 2. Now, it's a LucasArts / Pandemic title. Yeah, it's a fun little game. I mean, yeah, it has bugs, but basically you choose one of 3 characters, mercenaries, who get stiffed out of their bill, and now they're on a one-man revenge team to basically get their money by fucking up as much shit as humanly possible while saving the world.
Red Fox, I know. I'm just lamenting the death of LucasArts and Pandemic.
Yeah, so basically, EA was the publisher for this game, and because the game didn't sell that well on 7th gen systems, on the Xbox 360 and the PS3, they pulled the plug on the servers 3 months into it being released. So basically, whenever you play the game, it checks the servers automatically unless you disable that, and it gets stuck because there's no servers to connect to. So the game's virtually fucking unplayable with no servers unless you do a lot of back-end work, which the average gamer is not going to do that. So EA basically said, fuck you, we're not going to do shit for you. And if this game had just been a contained game within itself, that'd be cool. Dr. Feelgood's got to head out, so he's going to give his sign off, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I wish I could have stayed longer, but wife and I have a date going to see Jack Reacher 2. But yeah, wish I could stay longer. As I always say, keep it gaming. I'm excited about the Switch. Not hyped, just excited. It is a day one for me so far. That could change. But yeah, all naysayers, Wii U naysayers, and even the Switch naysayers, kiss my ass, and y'all have a good night.
Okay, peace out. Peace out. So, with Dr. Feelgood's triumphant return and escape from the BS Busters, I guess it's time to talk about our next topic. We hit why are there so many fakers, gullible people in gaming. So I guess the next one will be our real feelings about certain games. So name a game, and this is the Real Talk cast. So name a game that people love, universally beloved, but you're like, it's not that good. Fuck it.
Ooh, that'd be kind of hard because I only bought the games that I wanted. Not what other people said was good.
Well, I'll jump into the deep end. Mario Kart 8 and Smash Brothers 4. I don't think they're very good. I think that the single player for both of them is shit. And like I don't even play them that often. The online multiplayer is meh at best. Yeah, it's functional, it gets the job done, and it's fun sometimes, but it's just like I'm a single player gamer, and I like to play good single player games, and these aren't good single player games.
Well, I will agree with Smash. I haven't really played that much. I played a lot of Mario Kart 8, but not a lot of Smash.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Mario Kart 8 is not a bad game, but for me, the single player is not that good. It's just okay. You're gonna race a lot of cups. Go at it.
Well, until the day we get a new Diddy Kong Racing, that's gonna be the case with pretty much any racing game.
Yep. That's my white whale. That's my impossible dream. If Nintendo could pull their shit together and make a new Diddy Kong Racing, and I know people like to say, "Well, they can make it like Mario Kart." God no. Ugh. That's why I like Diddy Kong Racing. Like in 64, everyone's like Mario 64, Mario Kart 64. I was Diddy Kong Racing and Beetle Adventure Racing. Even though Beetle
Well,
Adventure Racing is kind of shitty, but it's
well,
still fun.
I didn't have the latter, but I did have Diddy Kong Racing, and my God, it was fun. It also was kind of weird. You had Raj, the Indian-speaking elephant, and then once you got all the cups, you had that mountain head that looked like Pig do that creepy laugh, demonic laugh.
And
And
then
as
it
a
was
kid back
open.
then, yeah,
You had to race them. I mean, it was basically like someone took the concept of Mario 64 or Banjo Kazooie and then made it into a fucking kart racer, and it was awesome. There were collectibles, but they were fun collectibles. There were battle arenas that weren't. Look, let me put it this way: Diddy Kong Racing has a better battle mode than Mario Kart 8. A game from literally 3 gens ago, in some ways, is better than a current gen game.
well, that was rare for you. I mean, Diddy Kong Racing was a rush job, and yet it was very high quality and something I've yet to see replicated.
Yeah,
No other racing game has come close.
and yeah, I know some people can say, "What about Crash Team Racing? What about Crash Team Racing?" What's your point? What are you trying to say? What you trying to say? So,
Well, going back to games that are beloved, but I don't think they're that good. I guess the remasters or indie games count. I guess one of them would be Last of Us.
yeah, yeah. For me, Last of Us, I never understood why people love that game. They're like, "Well, it's cinematic." I'm like,
So it's Star Fox Zero, and people dumped on that. Okay, essentially it's because it got all those tens and nines, and essentially people think this is the quote unquote Citizen Kane of gaming. I don't even get that because not even Orson Welles himself thought that Citizen Kane was the end all be all of the film medium. So why is
no.
Last of Us considered the end all be all of the video game medium? And
But Citizen Kane
essentially,
was pretty good, though.
yeah, yeah, and
To be shot on a budget, it was pretty good.
yeah, and what else? Essentially, despite people praising the story and all of that, to me it seems to be a combination of The Walking Dead, I Am Legend starring Will Smith, and several other post-apocalyptic movies. You know,
Well, I
nothing
mean,
really.
they just switch out a few tropes for a few things that you wouldn't expect. Like the zombies aren't zombies because of some biological agent. They're zombies because of some weird fungus. It's like, okay, whatever. Like we see the story in that game, we've seen it before. It's not something new.
Yeah, 28 Days Later and some other shit.
Well, any zombie apocalypse film that has, a dude has to take some dude, some girl, or young person from point A to point B. Like if you've ever watched Children of Men with Clive Owen, like that's basically, except Children of Men is a better film and tells a better story than Last of Us, and people are like, oh my god, it's so fucking awesome. Like, no, it's not awesome. There's nothing awesome about. There's not. Last of Us is one of the most overrated games I've ever played, and yes, I did play it. I had it on PS3. I played it. I beat it, and then I sold that shit back to
GameStop.
Yeah, no. I sold mine to my mom and pop because they give me more money for it. They didn't give me money. They gave me trade-in credits, and trade-in credits were worth more than what I would have gotten at GameStop because I spend so much money with those people. It's ridiculous.
Well, as long as you get a better game out of it, because even the gameplay itself is not that great, and despite people praising the artificial intelligence, look, when Ellie can make a whole lot of noise and remain untouched, well, if you make a fart, they'll swarm you, and yeah, that's not a design of good game design or programming.
Well, I mean that's true. That is true. I had that same issue. I'm like, okay, this bitch is making all this noise, and yet, like, I knock over a can, and they come swarming me. There's something wrong.
Plus, it's a personal bias thing, because apparently Naughty Dog wants to make more games like Last of Us, and not the games that made them a household name. Like, I really want a new Jak and Daxter. I know we had a Jak and Daxter running on PS4. I know all the possibilities.
Yeah, it's not gonna. Yeah, it's the sad thing is that I too, like, I would buy a PS4 tomorrow if they said, "Oh, we're making another Jak and Daxter. Give me
Jak and
open world platformer with vehicles." Yeah, sure, why not?
Jak and Daxter, a new Medieval,
Ratchet and Clank. Well, I know they remade the first Ratchet and Clank, but that game is. I went to my friend's house. I played through that game. We played it. We played through that game over a day, and it's not that good. It looks great graphically. It looks great, but it's not that good. It basically, like, of all the Ratchet and Clanks to remake, why remake that one? Why couldn't you remake Going Commando or Up Your Arsenal? Those are better games.
Maybe so, but keep in mind they did remake the formula of the first game, but overall, I think they were kind of hoping to reboot the franchise, because by then we had, like, what was it, 12, 13 games, if you include the All for One and Full Frontal Assault and the future games. I think in total we had like 16. Then Ratchet and Clank is pretty much, or was, the one consistent Sony IP that lasted for what, more than one generation.
Well, I mean, that could be the case. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a clue. Dragon Sword, you joined us. You have anything to add?
You guys move on from the Switch topic or not?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you have something you want to bring up about it, you can. And then we'll move on.
Okay. All right. I got a list, sort of. Okay. So basically, what I got from it, it's mainly a handheld that has a charging station like the Wii U gamepad, and that docking station also has I guess, an HDMI cable to connect to the TV. And the main selling point of it is that you can, play, you can take it anywhere and like play it, and it has console-like or Wii-like graphics, I think. Somewhere near there, and yeah. So
All I know is that I hope it has some good original games from Nintendo. That Mario thing they showed off looked interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like Mario thumping around some kind of Western-themed world. And who knows, maybe we might get Retro's new thing on it, whatever that may be, and a new Metroid, and who knows, maybe this will be the return of F-Zero.
We all want Metroid Prime. Or, you know what? Personally speaking, I would love to see Retro do their own unique IP. They've
Yeah,
been
that's what
saddled with Metroid Prime for so damn long. I'm reasonably certain they can do better. Because I mean, I love Metroid Prime. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But I know they could do better.
that's okay. That's what I meant. They're probably working on their own original IP, hopefully, or hopefully maybe Diddy Kong Racing successor. Who knows? But I'm kind of tired of the Prime format by now.
No,
Federation
I mean,
Force.
I would say no to another Metroid Prime. But
Well, if you played Federation Force and got the maybe it's a secret ending, you'll see the setup for a new Prime game that
yeah,
Kensuke Tanabe has been wanting to do.
yeah.
Samus versus Silex.
I wouldn't get angry about another Metroid Prime. The only thing that bothers me about Metroid Prime is that, like, it, like, I don't think that reception of Metroid Prime Federation Force. I think that kind of hurt the chances of how soon they'll make another Metroid Prime, which is not cool because, like I said, Metroid Prime is one of my favorite spin-offs of the Metroid universe.
Well, listen, even when they got all that negative perception after it was unveiled, instead of abandoning it, they still went through with it.
Oh yeah.
Nintendo, if the developers have vision, the auteurs here and all that, they're gonna stick to it despite what people say. Again, the reason Federation Force took too long is that it was originally going to be on a DSi, but it couldn't handle what they wanted to do. But then after the 3DS was unveiled, that's when they got back to work on it. And remember, Next Level Games helped Konami to make that game, so I think anyone could make a Metroid title. From what Liger told me, WayForward still has the rights to make a Metroid title, a 2D one. So.
You guys think there's going to be cross-gen between Switch and Wii U?
You mean
No.
remasters? Yeah.
You mean in terms of backwards compatibility or actually remasters?
Remasters, yes. Backwards compatibility, no. It's been confirmed.
Yeah, they're not. No, nothing's backwards compatible. Now they might do what they did with the Wii U to Wii things where they do like digital versions of past games. They might do that, but I mean I'm kind of bummed out by the lack of backwards compatibility because I've put hundreds of dollars, like over 1,000 into my Wii U, and definitely over 1,500 if you combine the Wii U and the 3DS, and I mean, it's a pain in the ass having to keep up with all these different devices.
Well,
but,
Nintendo got with the times that people wanted.
Yeah.
Although,
you got to do what you got to do.
yeah, but that's the reason why I'm not getting rid of my Wii U anytime soon.
Well, I mean, I don't get rid of my consoles; they go into storage. But I mean, here's the thing: your TV only has so many fucking jacks. Like, you can only hook so much shit to your TV, even with all the little adapters and switchers and cutters and AV switches and all that shit. And at a certain point, you just like, damn, this is a lot of shit hanging like plugged up to my TV. So,
well, let's see what happens.
yeah, what shall be shall be.
Yeah, I checked an article, and if I read it correctly, which I think I usually do, there's no dual screen experience on the Switch. So,
Nope.
Well,
yeah,
Nope.
I'm not sure about that. I might have been misconstrued. People are already making their articles about even more rumors about this thing.
Well, I thought from what I heard, this came from Nintendo themselves. They confirmed there's no dual screen experience for the system, which I'm like, god damn, which lends further credence to either the Pro controllers or or those Joy-Con controllers are going to have gyro because if they're going to port Splatoon to this system, you need gyro. Like trying to control that thing with the control stick, it's not precise enough. The gyro, it makes it precise enough for you to really do precision things with it. So you need some type of motion control with it.
Agreed. Can go back to sticks after gyro.
Yeah,
But again,
it's like the Wiimote. You can't go back to with normal shooters. You can't go back to just a control stick when you have the Wiimote.
well, we can't, but most of the quote-unquote gaming populace, they hated these quote-unquote gimmicks, and they're happy that the Switch is kind of the most traditional controller Nintendo has done in years, quote-unquote.
Really? Seriously?
And the screen is sort of just, even though we don't actually know for sure, but the screen is just to see the game. So essentially, people are shitting on the gamepad, but they're happy that now they got off TV play again.
The hilarious thing is that they're shitting on the gamepad when the Switch, from what I've seen, is essentially a gamepad.
Okay, look, people are shitting on the gamepad, and yet, you know,
they're excited about another gamepad.
I mean that people want Nintendo to put their games on mobile devices and tablets, and not things like Pokemon Go. I mean, they're actual games like.
Oh, but they did because the Nintendo Switch is Nintendo's mobile device. They put their games on their mobile device.
Yeah, but what I mean is that they wanted it on their iPads and things like that.
Oh yeah, I know. I was simply saying that Nintendo did exactly what they wanted, except they did it in Nintendo's way, which is what Iwata said. He's like, we're going to do things, and we'll find a Nintendo-like solution to our problems. And by God, they did. Like, yeah, so you want to play mobile? Here's your tablet.
Yeah, but no, what I'm getting at is that people want these games on their devices, and they complain about the gamepad, even though it has joysticks and buttons and all that. Yet they want to play on their iPads and everything that doesn't have any of that. All it has is touchscreen. And people nowadays are starting to complain about the original DS, saying that was the beginning of the end when Nintendo became focused on gimmicks and making, again, people are rewriting history.
Well, there's a lot of revisionist history going on. So I guess we can move on to the final topic, which is going to be
overall thoughts of the generation.
Well, I got to go back to the page and check it out because I accidentally closed the window that had my my topics on it. My dumbass. Okay, our final topic is.
Well, before you do, I got one more game.
That you think is kind of overrated?
Yeah,
like,
that would
people love it, but to you, it's like, no.
Yeah, that would be Thomas Was Alone.
Never played it. I heard about it. I was like, I don't care.
It's a platformer about shapes, and it's supposed to be, one of those artsy games because it's supposed to make you feel, but it didn't have that effect.
Your heart, sir, is like the Grinch's heart. It's 3 sizes too small. No, I'm joking.
I can cry every time I replay Thousand Year Door, but this game didn't do anything, and yet people praise the shit out of essentially a basic platformer.
I can understand that. So our final question is not video game related. It's TV/movie related. In the light of Luke Cage coming out, this is a question from 2 podcasts back that we never got to because that podcast was rolled over into this one. In light of Luke Cage coming out on Netflix, and by all accounts, it's fucking awesome. What comic book would be great to be adapted into a Netflix-like format?
I don't know. I'm not too into the comic book thing because I'm poor. But I don't know. Maybe Blade?
Yeah, I could see that. Dragon Sword?
I also don't read a lot of comics, so I'm not really sure. So
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I guess it's me. I'm the last one. I'm gonna have to go with Fantastic Four. Now,
Uh,
before people throw cabbages and tomatoes at me and say, "You bastard, Fantastic Four has been shit for years," hear me out. Please, hear me out. Fantastic Four has not been good as of late. Fair enough. But Fantastic Four hasn't been good not because um
It's Fantastic Four.
not because it's the Fantastic Four, but because it like
It was
you can,
mismanaged.
yeah, exactly. It was not well put together. It was done by people who didn't really understand what the Fantastic Four is about. Fantastic Four at its core is about a group of scientific explorers who happen to be a dysfunctional as fuck family who still love each other at the end of the day and have each other's back, and how they basically try to use their powers to save the world while trying to get along and not kill each other, because sometimes you can't stand your family but you love them. Okay. um so my idea would be a 10 to 13 episode series on Netflix where there wouldn't be an origin story. Like maybe in like a flashback in the first episode, you'd have Reed Richards saying like why he's trying to, get the funds together to buy back the Baxter Building. Because if you know anything about the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards in the first 20 years of the run, he's always cash strapped and always about to lose the Baxter Building, which is where their headquarters are. So, you know, I would have it go like that. Like it would be each episode would be its own self-contained story, but there would be elements of an overarching thing that's going on in those 13 episodes that would lead to the big bad in the 13th episode or maybe the 12th episode, where like you'd have, okay, this shit, all these things, all the pieces have fallen into place. So maybe in like the first episode, you'd have like Reed Richards sell a patent that goes through a dummy corporation that is actually headquartered, that's actually connected to some firm in Latveria. It's like, oh shit. So if you're a comic book fan, you're like, oh shit, Latveria, oh, that's Dr. Doom's home turf. Um, and then you'd have like Monster of the Week type stuff where like Reed Richards is getting the team back together and they're working through their shit, and like Monster of the Week thing, so they're solving problems every week. This scientist was turned into a monster, you have to save him. But while they're doing this, there's other shit going down that's leading back to some shit going on in Latveria, technology going to Latveria, various items are missing and being shipped to Latveria. And in the 12th episode, you find out all this shit was being done by Victor Von Doom. And Reed Richards like, oh shit. Because, Dr. Doom is one of the main bad guys in the Marvel Universe. He's so badass that Darth Vader was modeled after him.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think it could work. Maybe better as a cartoon, but seeing how eventually they have to be, absolved or be part of the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, then yeah, I can see that working.
yeah, the reason I did a Netflix thing and not a cartoon, because I really like this way you can tell the story of the Fantastic Four, get them into the universe, and basically show how badass the Fantastic Four can be without having to deal with anybody fucking it up. So you can have Ben Grimm find out that he's Jewish and all American. He's Reed Richards' right hand man, Ace Coon Boone, wingman. You find out about Sue Storm and Johnny Storm. Maybe at the end, like Reed finally gets balls to ask her to marry him. And then second season, you can, oh, they're getting married, blah blah. Now they're family. They live in the same household. All that fun shit. Of course, this would be Netflix, so it'd be rated R. So, yeah, you're gonna find out. Reed Richards, Mr. I can stretch any part of my body out. You find out why Sue, every time she leaves, she comes back, because he can do all types of things. And as for characteristics, this Reed Richards will smoke a pipe. And we'll have, we won't have any of this young adult bullshit that Fox tried to pull with Fantastic Four stick. Johnny Storm, I don't know. The important thing is that all 4 characters have chemistry and feel like they're a real family. Because that's basically what they are. You've got Reed Richards, the stern father who wants to hold everything together through force of will. Sue Storm, the mom. Ben Grimm is the hothead uncle, the wacky hothead uncle, and then Johnny is the asshole kid who you just want to see get the shit slapped out of him for being a punk. And that's Fantastic Four. No. So yeah, that was my idea.
I can see it working because I think the biggest problem is that you can't condense all that into a movie or two, especially ones that were terrible. Thankfully, it was an episode format, then you can stretch everything out.
Well, yeah, because when you think about it, the Netflix shows are like 13-hour movies. So yeah, you can't compress this down into a 2-hour movie, but if you have 13 hours, you could tell a really great story in 13 hours.
Yeah, because again, we had a Daredevil movie in 2003, wasn't that good. But then,
oh god.
But then Netflix with a lot of liberties, freedom to do what they want, and a lot of, they don't have to condense everything into 2 hours. And same thing with Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, and because I think some of Marvel's, heroes lend themselves better to the Netflix format than the theaters.
Yeah, that's how I feel as well. So with that being said, we've reached the end of our podcast. This was a short one. It was only a little over an hour. So if you guys have anything you want to pimp out or bring up, if you guys have anything you want to bring up before we wrap things up, you can bring it up now.
I guess the question is, is this Switch really like a successor or like a replacement to the Wii U, or is just a replacement like that kind of come in like I say 2019? Like
okay. I have 2 answers. I'm going to give you the official answer, and then I'm going to give you the real answer. The official answer is no. It's not a successor to the Wii U.
Or 3DS.
Or the 3DS. The reason they say this is because they're people who they still want to sell their Wii U's and they still want to sell the 3DS. So you don't tell people, well, stop buying that shit, and everyone just stop spending money and buying games for that shit and just jump over to this thing. It's going to be up to Nintendo to differentiate why you should own, ideally, all of them. 3DS, Wii U, and this system. This new one coming out. And that's the onus is on them. That's their job. That's the official answer. The unofficial answer is this system, it's kind of like with Nintendo with the DS to the Game Boy Advance, where like if the DS hadn't taken off, they would have just continued to support the DS. Except the DS wasn't doing the Game Boy Advance. The Game Boy Advance wasn't doing nearly as badly as the Wii U is doing, comparatively speaking. So I mean, Nintendo had to find something to put them back into the game. So sadly, I think they're putting a lot of their resources, if not like 90% of them, into this system. Which, I mean, it is what it is. You gotta take the bitter with the sweet, good with the bad. But I hope that answered your question.
I mean, I guess I guess another question to add to that is that is the Switch, I guess, like, does it have more advanced processing power than the Wii U, or is it about the same?
I got 2 answers. One, processing power does not matter that much.
Yeah.
It's all about what people do with it and optimization. Second, this thing is running off custom NVIDIA hardware. proprietary by Nintendo, so who knows?
Yeah, because Nintendo's shit is so proprietary that it's like you can't compare it to shit that you can get off the shelf or that's in the market right now. The only thing I'd say is this: the parts that are being used are more contemporary than what was used last gen. So automatically, by virtue of it being newer, it's going to be more efficient and in ways better. It's kind of like if you buy a laptop, right? Let's say you buy a brand of laptops in the same model line, but you had like the one you had previously was from 5 years ago versus one from 1 year ago. Even if it's in the same line, the one from 1 year ago is going to have more features and more better chipsets and everything like that just by virtue of it being newer. So this system, even if this system has the exact same hardware layout, by virtue of the chipsets being newer and the parts being more refined, it's going to have an edge.
Look, the thing with consoles is that these days they're already outdated even before they leave for distribution.
Oh,
Because
that's true, but I'm simply saying that, like, even okay, let me put it this way, even by virtue of it's going to be out of date by the time it rolls out the door. Even by virtue of that, because the parts are more efficient and they're newer, they're automatically going to have kind of an edge in how they do certain things. Because that's just how technology works. It's kind of like a TV from, by the time most people buy TVs, it's already outdated. But even if you have a TV from 7 years ago versus you bought a new one from 3 years ago, the 3 years ago one is going to be more efficient and have better features because it's newer and there's more shit included. You get what I'm saying? They do the same thing, but one's going to be better than the other just by virtue of being newer and having more bells and whistles automatically put in. Typical. Typical.
Yep.
Not all the time, but typical.
Yep. The only thing that matters is what games are gonna be put on this thing. That's all that matters.
Hopefully, unless people start acting like little bitches. Which, seeing how gamers act today.
Look, I got something to ask. Anybody remember the Simpsons episode where Apu kept sending Homer dirty, tainted food to get game food poisoning, and Homer still went back again and again until, at one point it became too much, so he had a camera and a cowboy hat. I can help that's the situation with most of these gamers, except they never wise up.
That was a good episode. Because the hat was huge and it was like obviously a stain. It's like, Mr. Simpson.
Yep, obvious like the screwing that these companies are doing to gamers, but they don't care. They're like Homer, they keep coming back.
Yeah, they're like a junkie trying to get their fix. As long as they get their fix, they're okay.
Don't see how it can be considered. Look, drugs, they do something good. They do something for you. It's not good, but they do something for you. It can do nothing.
Well, I mean, games do the same thing. Okay, let me put it this way. I went to a friend of mine, not a friend of mine. I went to a GameStop for some reason. I had to pick up something for a friend of mine because she was like, I need you to pick this up for me. Here's the thing. I was like, fuck it, whatever. And I was talking to this guy while I was waiting in line, and he was like, yeah, I bought Battlefield 4. And he's like, man, it's so broken. I'm like, yeah, but the last one was broken. Why'd you get it? I wanted to play with my friends. I was like, but couldn't you play the old stuff with your friends? Yeah. I was like, then why'd you get 4? I'm like, you're like a damn junkie. I didn't say that. In my head, I was like, oh, well, that's your choice. But in my head, I'm like, you're like a junkie. You addict.
I think Double, I think you actually brought up something to kind of like talk about the Switch is there really going to be any games that's going to work, can only work on there? Because for Wii U, it's like, what, Xenoblade Chronicles X with the dual screen and Tokyo sessions with the dual screen,
Star Fox
like with the
Zero,
map on there. So yeah.
Super Mario Color Splash, and
I mean, this game,
Wonderful 101.
in some ways, this system seems like a more traditional console because when it's docked into the thing, it's on your TV, and then when you take it out, it goes to the gamepad. So, sorry, the tablet. But fuck it, it's a gamepad. It goes to the gamepad. So basically, like you won't have asymmetrical gameplay, but I'm sure there'll be some. I'm sure there'll be some features where it's like, oh man, look at this cool shit you can do on this system with the gamepad or whatever. They're probably gonna call it something else, but it's a gamepad. No bullshit. It's a gamepad.
Well, let's just wait until next year when they explain more about it.
Yeah. But I tell you this much, I'm definitely getting Breath of the Wild for the Wii U because the Wii U version looks better, and the game was built for the Wii U. They're just kind of doing they're doing a decent port to the Switch, but really it was built from the ground up for the Wii U, so that's what I'm getting for.
Yes, I'm getting it for the Wii U too. Even though my birthday is 2 months after the Switch releases, I'm still gonna get it for the Wii U.
Yeah.
I mean, because first of all, we don't even know how much this thing is gonna cost, the Switch.
Yeah.
So, how about I just spend the $65 along with the additional money for some of those amiibo for this, and I'll just wait until either there's enough games for me to have to make the purchase, or maybe drop in price.
Yeah. For me, I'm gonna need to see what type of games are on it. If the games look good, then it'll be day one. If not, I'll wait because I have no problem waiting a year for the library to build up. I still haven't bought a PS4. That being said, I think we've exhausted all the extra little questions. So you guys have anything you want to pimp out? Say it now, so then we can wrap things up and people can get on with their nights or days or wherever. I know where you are; it's still daytime because it's like a 3-hour time difference. Double A, but for the rest of us, it's kind of late at night. So not late, but decent. So anything you guys want to pimp out before we wrap things up?
Yeah. Axiom Verge, Ukulele, Shantae Have Any Hero. What else? SteamWorld Heist is also now on Wii U. And I think that's about it.
Okay. Dragon Sword.
I mean, I'm pretty busy, I think, at this time, and probably for like the next 2 weeks. So, yeah, I think you already said that like the last podcast I was in. So,
okay, all right.
Yeah.
So I guess it's up to me to say my final piece and pimp out whatever I got to pimp out. I've got some gameplay videos coming up of Shadow Warrior and Mafia 3. Also, I'm still working on the Ultimate series because my data, my video was corrupted, so I had to do everything from scratch, and I just haven't had the energy to go back over all that shit. So look forward to that. I'm gonna drop a video either tomorrow or Monday for questions for the Q&A portion of BS Busters for next week, which is going to be on a Friday, not on a Saturday, because Saturday I'm doing a Halloween party, and I'm probably I'm not going to be able to be in 2-3 places at one time. So look forward to that, and peace out.